Have you ever stopped to wonder what's really happening in your brain when you learn something? Well, today we're going to dive into this incredible framework that's basically a map for our minds. It guides us all the way from just memorizing stuff to genuine, innovative thinking.
So let me ask you this. Is memorizing the same thing as actually learning? I mean, think about it. We've all been there, right? Cramming for a test, just trying to jam dates and formulas into our heads. But a week later, is any of it still there? Did we really learn it?
Well, it turns out there's a huge difference. And there's this brilliant framework, a sort of map for your mind, that helps us understand all the different levels of thinking. It's called Bloom's Taxonomy. And honestly, it might just change how you look at learning forever. So, what's the deal with this thing? At its core, Bloom's Taxonomy is a hierarchy of thinking skills. You can picture it like a ladder. Each rung is a more complex, more sophisticated way of thinking. And to get to the top, you've got to start at the bottom and work your way up.
This quote really nails it. See, learning isn't just about what you know, it's about what you can do with that knowledge. This taxonomy is basically a classification system for thinking itself.
Now, you can't build a skyscraper without a solid foundation, right? Well, our thinking is exactly the same. The first three levels of this ladder are what we call the lower order skills. These are the absolute essentials, the bedrock you have to build before you can climb any higher.
So, we're going to start our climb with these three foundational steps. First, there's remembering, then understanding, and finally applying. Let's break them down.
Okay, first up, remembering. This is the ground floor, the starting line. It's all about just pulling facts and basic concepts out of your memory. So if we use a bicycle as our example, this is as simple as naming the parts: pedal, handlebar, chain, wheel. Easy enough.
And the key action words here really tell the whole story. Words like define, list, and recall, they're all about just pulling information straight from storage. This is the what of knowledge.
Now, moving up one rung on the ladder, we get to understanding. This is where we go beyond just spitting back a fact and actually start to get what it means. With our bike, this isn't just naming the gears, it's explaining how the gears work to make it easier or harder to pedal.
You'll notice the verbs here are different. Explain, summarize, paraphrase. These show a much deeper level of thinking, because now you're interpreting the information, putting it in your own words. You're starting to make that knowledge your own.
And that brings us to applying. This is where the rubber meets the road, where knowledge turns into action. It's all about using what you remember and understand in a brand new situation. So for our bike example, this would be taking a set of instructions and actually assembling a bicycle from a kit.
Just check out these verbs: apply, use, demonstrate. They're all about doing something. At this stage, knowledge isn't just a thing you have in your head. It's a tool you can use to get something done. And that right there is the top of our foundation. All right, so with that foundation set, it is time to climb higher. We're moving into the higher order skills. This is where the real analysis, the big ideas, and true innovation happen. Honestly, this is where learning gets really fun. And just look at this comparison. It perfectly shows the huge leap we're about to take. We're going from simply being able to recall the facts to being able to assess the value of the facts. That's a massive shift, from just being a consumer of information to being a critic and a creator. So, the peak of our climb, the top of the mountain, consists of these three final skills: analyzing, evaluating, and the big one, creating.
Let's start with analyzing. This is all about breaking information down into its parts so you can see how they all relate to each other. It's deconstructing. With our bicycle, this might be comparing the design of a sleek road bike versus a rugged mountain bike to figure out why they're so different.
The verbs here, like analyze, compare, examine, they're all about being a detective. You're digging for clues, you're finding connections, and you're understanding the hidden structure of an idea.
Okay, next up the ladder is evaluating. This is where you start making judgments and defending your opinions. It's about forming a conclusion based on a set of criteria. For our bike rider, this would be recommending the perfect bike for a friend based on their commute, their budget, and their fitness level. What's so powerful about these verbs, evaluate, assess, recommend, is that they demand a standard. You're not just throwing out an opinion, you're actually justifying a decision based on clear reasons. And here we are. We've reached the summit. Creating. This is the absolute pinnacle of thinking. It's about taking everything you know, all the things you've analyzed and evaluated,
and putting it all together to make something totally new. In our bike example, this is designing a concept for a brand new, innovative folding e-bike for the city.
I mean, these verbs just say it all, don't they? Create, invent, design. This is the moment you go from being a learner to being an innovator. You're generating completely new ideas, new products, new ways of seeing the world.
So there you have it. We've gone on a journey from the simple act of remembering a fact all the way up to creating something that never existed before. And this isn't just some abstract theory for teachers. It's a really practical map for any of us who want to learn better and think deeper. And here it is, the whole journey in one single view. You can see the climb from the foundational skills at the bottom all the way up to the higher order thinking at the top. Remembering is where it starts, but creating, that is the ultimate destination. The big takeaway here is that learning isn't just one thing, it's a climb. So the next time you're tackling something new, ask yourself, where am I on this ladder right now, and what's it going to take to get to the next rung? So I'll just leave you with this question. Which level of thinking are you going to challenge yourself with today?